Hello, everyone. This is Orion, KE7VLC. Just getting prepared for the tonight's meeting on the winter field day. As you can see, we got already our little page there. Got it as my background, so we'll be discussing that here in a second. I'm not too sure exactly who's going to be joining and who's not going to be joining. We got several different chat sessions going on here. So it'll definitely be an interesting night, to say the least, because it's the first time we've been doing this. So we'll see how it works out. I got two different chat windows I'm going to have to keep an eye on, and I got somebody coming in here that's going to probably assist me as soon as he gets home. We'll see how that happens. We kind of only have about 40 minutes tonight, 45 minutes or so. I wanted to kind of start out, and it doesn't sound like anybody's jumping on quite right now. It's still kind of early. It's only 7 o'clock, so we'll give it a little bit of time here. See if anybody jumps in here really quick. All right, I'll give it a few more minutes here, and then I'll go right ahead and start. Hoping that a couple other people will join in. This is the first time we've used Zoom, so for part of our meeting, so I don't know whether or not that's going to work out so well or not. We'll see. The free version of Zoom only allows you to do about 40 minutes. Which kind of hampers my long-winded speeches and stuff. So let's see here. Not too concerned about that. Anyway, this meeting is actually being recorded too. So, if you do miss it or something of that nature, I definitely will be posting it up on YouTube, as well as providing a link in our website as well as Facebook page as to where you can get that info. Might be pretty cool to think about. We're going to be trying to do a lot more of these little videos and stuff, educational videos, as well as, crafty videos. One of the things that I want to do during Winter Field Day is do our air gun build. Hoping that Frank will bring up his equipment as well. I'll bring up some supplies to make one, antenna launcher. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, so to start off, where to find information on Winter Field Day. Winter Field Day is coming up end of January, 27th and 28th, right there on the card. It's a this will be the first time that Mesa Amateur Radio Club has actually participated in the winter field day. A lot of times people sit there and go, oh, it's going to be too cold for us to do it, and they typically don't don't want to do it or something of that nature. So we've kind of shied away from it. Now we're going to change that. We're going to probably do both field day and winter field day, as well as a couple others like the Arizona QSO party and maybe one other camp out. We're going to try to see about doing maybe 4 a year. Some of you might think, well, that's a little too much for me or something like that. That's fine. We get it. We understand not everybody enjoys going out camping or anything of that nature. We would like to set up in a park. However, a lot of the local city parks and stuff have kind of come down on us for, putting up masts and things of that nature, or sat there and said, well, you're an official organized party, so you now have to pay the entrance fee and stuff of that nature. So, it kind of gets a little bit of, hardship there, which is kind of sad in a way. It's kind of sad that our society has gone to that point where, city parks and stuff are kind of a little bit, shaky on the whole entire having a mast and having a large group get together in the, in a park or something of that nature. So it's one of those things where we kind of have to find places that are not necessarily tied in with any particular city or county or, even state places. So it's one of those, it's a little tough on the organization part to try to find a good place to go without having to pay an exorbitant amount of, money in order to, get our club to go out there and do something. So, we'll start off to find out information as to where Winter Field Day is going to be, when it is. Simply go to our website, is Whiskey Mike 7 Romeo Charlie.org. That's WM7RC.org. Or type in Mesa Amateur Radio Club on in Google or Yahoo, and it'll bring you right to our club website. You don't have to be a member to let's see here. You don't have to be a member to see any of our articles or our upcoming events. All of our upcoming events are going to be over in this little area here where it says view all events. We have it so that it chooses, the top 3 events or something like that we've got planned out. And that's right over in this area right here. Obviously, I've got quite a few updates, made a few comments, articles, and stuff of that nature. If you do want to join, come on in and join. Click the little Join Us page. Let's see here. And we are going to, eventually, we're going to do a live video feed whenever we do these types of events. The last event that we did was the Arizona QSO party, and we did a Facebook Live meet there, and it really actually turned out to be quite interesting. We had quite a few people that, basically basically watched and commented, and it kind of helped us out too. So we're going to attempt to do that for Winter Field Day as well. We're going to do a Facebook Live, probably a couple other different little live feeds throughout the event. Looks like we've got quite a few people here. Looks like Gary's in. Gary, nice to meet you. Good to see you in here. Obviously, Frank and Chad's in here. Thank you for commenting on here and watching. So that's one place to find more information as to where we're going to be, as well as our upcoming events. The other place is obviously Facebook page. So if you've found us on Facebook or even on our website, That's great. Definitely appreciate that. Um, so now, um, as to where, okay, Winter Field Day is going to be January 27th and 28th. I've probably said that quite a few times, but I'm actually quite excited about this. This is going to be a fun event. It's going to be up near Lake Roosevelt. Let's see here if I can zoom out here. It's going to be at the Grapevine Groups Campground. Oops, I've zoomed out way too far. Let's see here if I can get it in here. Let's see here. Okay, so the little blue dot is where I'm at currently. That's Apache Junction. This is all Phoenix right over here. Lake Roosevelt's right up here, and as this fills in, yeah, so here we go. We got Globe, Superior. The easiest way to get out there is going to be either take the 60 out to Globe. Right before you get to the top of the hill, there's going to be a stoplight right there. And then you take the, I want to say it's the 188, I believe, is the route that comes up through here up towards Lake Roosevelt. And as we zoom in, we're going to see. So here, yeah, it is Route 188. And I was going off purely by memory. You're going to come along. There's going to be a couple signs here saying, you know, Grapevine group site. You come down this road. You're going to make a right into this facility, and then you're going to make another right on the first turn, and you're going to come all the way back. We'll have the gates open. I'm going to try to get there Friday, just right around about noon, and open up the gates. You're definitely more than welcome to come up on Friday if you want, or if you want to come up just during the daytime on Saturday, you're definitely more than welcome to. Definitely enjoy anyone and everyone. So here's the basically the campground that we're going to be at. It's going to be the Grapevine group site. I did pay for this out of my own pocket. It's $75 a night. So if you want to contribute, you're more than welcome. If you can't, don't have enough funds or something of that nature, don't feel pressured. You know, I'm doing this because I enjoy going out. I enjoy doing the radio. I just have a lot of fun doing this hobby. So I do this out of my own pocket a lot of times. So I'm not expecting anybody to come up and just, you know, hand me money. You know, in the past people have, and it definitely helps, you know, offset the cost and everything. So for those who have, you know, contributed and, you know, helped out in some other way, definitely appreciate all those, you know, all those contributions. So that's the, right there is the latitude and longitude. It is on our Winter Field Day page. If you go back over to our Mesa Amateur Radio Club website, each one of these are links to. This one goes to the actual park map itself. That's the Google Maps. And then this other one here, the Cormorant Loop site, actually pulls up the National Parks and Service or National Forest, U.S. Forest Service site. This site, this actual page is a little confusing at first because north is not straight up like you would normally expect a map to be. It's actually towards the left-hand side, notated right here. You'll see Lake Roosevelt. Here's State Route 188 right down here. Let me see if I've got, do have a, let's see here, format. Let's see here if I can do. So right down here, if you see my cursor, it's, this is State Route 188. You'd end up, this direction up here is towards Globe. This direction is down towards the route to Payson there, 88 and everything. So you go north on this road, take the first right, take the second right, come on back. Don't go to the pintail or the heron loops. You'll go to the cormorant loop. Let's see here if I can find. I don't have it. I'm gonna have to play around with this tool a little bit more to find it. Anyway, let's see here. This will do it. So cormorant loop right there. Oops, going the wrong direction, aren't I? Yeah, it's my right there. Of course, now I'm making it right there is where we're going to be camped at. State Route 188 is down there. Lake Roosevelt is right up here. So that gives you kind of a rough idea as to where we're going to be camped at back here. Like I said, I will have the gates open. It's nice enough that they do have locked gates, so we'll probably lock the gates at like 9 or 8 or 9 o'clock at night or something like that, and then open them back up at like 6 or 7 in the morning. So now let's go over to the actual winter field day website right here. It's a very easy website to find. It's winterfieldday.com. I really like, let's see here if I can actually get rid of the annotations here. Oops, did I just stop the sharing? Yes, I did. Share screen here, okay. Eraser, okay, and did clear that, okay, good. All right, so winterfieldday.com is the actual website. And my recommendation is before you actually go out to the actual event or participate in it. If you want to participate in it at home, that's perfectly fine. You just won't get to use the club call sign. You'll have to use your own call sign. I recommend coming on here and at least looking at the rules. They do have some files. They do have a couple other little links. Obviously, they have their own little place where you can buy little, T-shirts and mugs and stuff of that nature. Helps offset their cost for their website and doing all the like the QSO, the Arizona QSO party. Gary actually does a lot of the back end work on it, and we definitely appreciate Gary's contribution to that. He does a lot of hard work on that side. So any way we can contribute to these types of things, it just helps encourage more and more people getting involved in it, as well as more and more contests or events going on. And without people like Gary, it's definitely one of those things where it's so I'm gonna have to shout out KE7DX. Definitely appreciate your work and dedication to the Arizona QSO party. So for the winter field day, I recommend at least coming over here and looking at the rules, maybe even the about page. I've got the rules pulled up right here. Basically, you can read them on your own. I'll go right ahead and print out a copy of it for the field day and bring it in. Let's see here. So it's basically to foster the ham camaraderie, field operation, emergency operating procedures, and just plain old being on the air, which is actually a lot of fun. The way our club tries to work it out is we'll try to do some sort of at least a little bit of training alongside of it, keeping in the spirit of actually the ARRL field day, which is in the summertime. There's usually a little bit of a training session. They try to encourage that, and so we're going to carry on that tradition with the winter field day as well. I'm hoping. I know Frank's in here. I don't know if he's still listening or not, but I'll send him an email afterwards to remind him to bring the rest of the equipment that we're going to need. We're going to build one of the antenna launchers, the air. You use the tire pump to fill up a couple air canisters and launch antennas into the trees and everything. We're going to build one of those We're going to do a Facebook Live as well as recorded video of that. I should say we're going to do at least the video of it. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to do a Facebook Live of that or not, especially since it is a long, tedious process. So, but we're definitely going to have a video of it and put it up on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page. That's actually quite a few. We've gotten quite a few comments about that, so I'm actually quite happy about that. So now there's suggested frequencies in here. The one thing that I would like to try to do is try to stay in the general class bands as much as possible. It just allows a lot more people to experience it and get on and make contacts and everything. However, if that gets cluttered up, yes, we will probably drop down into the amateur extra band or portion of the band if needed. I'm recommending, since we're going to have kind of 2 older rigs and 1 newer rig, we'll probably use Frank's rig primarily for PSK 31. The other thing that I've gotten a lot of comments on was Olivia. So I think we're going to try to do a couple Olivia contacts as well, and see if we could do that as well. I would like to try to do slow scan TV, but I don't know if we're all set up for that or really ready for it. We could always give it a try and see what happens. I'm always down for that. We'll definitely be on single sideband, possibly even AM if we can. And we'll try all the different bands as much as possible. I mean, why not try 10 meters and see what happens? 10's been kind of up and down lately. We're going to stay away from the work bands as much as possible. Obviously 12, 17, 30, and 60 meters has an exception up here. So we're definitely going to stay away from those bands. On Friday night, we might jump on like 17 or something and see what happens. And maybe early Saturday morning, we might jump on 12 meters to see if we can get a good hop and skip and a jump over to Europe. I've always had good luck with 12 meters for contacting Europe. So we'll see what happens on that. The event actually doesn't start until basically 2 p.m. Eastern time, which I believe is noon our time, because we're 2 hours behind Eastern time, 2 or 3 hours. I'll have to look at the time frame, but I believe we're 2 hours behind Eastern time. So it starts at noon on Saturday and continues on until basically noon on Sunday. Technically, we're supposed to be out of the campground by, I think it's 10 a.m. On Sunday. We'll play that by ear and see what happens, but I would like to try to start breaking down a lot of our stuff early Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. So our category is going to definitely be an outdoor operation. We're definitely not operating from home, and we're definitely not going to be operating from indoors. So we're going to definitely be doing an outdoor. Our exchange is going to be the combination of our class and category. So our AWR and our AWRL section. So it will be, our class will be how many transmitters we have on site that are going to be operating simultaneous. And then obviously O for outdoors. So, for example, if we were going to go stick with our operating class for field day, we were 4 Alpha. So we're going to be a 4 Oscar this year, because I believe that Dennis is probably going to have his. Not too sure if Dennis is going to do too much operation, but we'll see what happens there. So your entry class is the number designated by the number of stations in your entry that are capable of simultaneous transmission. So we'll definitely play around with that and see what happens. We've had some really good luck if we keep the masts separated as much as possible, and then do a 90-degree split on the antennas. But we'll see how that works. We'll see whether or not we'll be able to get both masts up or not. For QSO points, it's 1 point for a phone QSO and 2 points for CW or digital. We don't have any CW operators. I really wish I could get a hold of the one guy that was doing CW a long time ago, but I've had zero luck at contacting him lately. So um, we need to find a CW operator as much as possible. But I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to buckle down and do a little bit of studying for it and see what happens. But now notice in here it says busted exchanges will be penalized by 1 additional point for each missed exchange or call sign. We're allowed to have duplicates, so we will count duplicates. So if you get a duplicate, we'll just log it just like normal. And then we have multipliers. So I believe the multipliers are, yeah, so it's 2 points for digital, 1 point for phone. So and then we also have bonus points. If we use no commercial power, which is more than likely what's going to happen with us, obviously we're going to get 1,500 bonus points. And if we're in the outdoors, we're going to get another 1,500 bonus points. Not too shabby. That's funny here. It says, okay, 1,500 bonus points if your operation is not a home operation. In other words, we're not doing it remote or anything like that from our home. We're not doing that. So I guess we're going to claim another 1,500 bonus points right there. I don't think that we're going to be doing a satellite QSO. I don't have the equipment to do satellite. I know that we could probably build something. I would have to sit down and actually plan that out. We probably should do that for regular field day anyways. So we'll have to do that. We might even do that as a project for the club or something. So there's quite a few different bonus points that we can get, which I'm quite happy with. I'm quite interested to see exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. We are going to use computer. Let's see here. N3FJP software, I believe, has the winter field day application, and I'll go right ahead and grab a thumb drive and put it on there as well. I've got the 2 laptops for our club, so I'll bring those along and make sure everything is kind of up to date on them. I don't know if anybody else has any other equipment that they're going to be bringing. I know I'm going to be bringing my generator. Let's see here. And I'm not too sure if Frank's going to be bringing his or not, but so that's pretty much about it. I kind of figured it was going to only take about 30 minutes or so to go through it. I just didn't know if we were going to have anybody join in live and through Zoom or something of that nature. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, recommendations, pokes, prods? Let's see here. Looks like my Facebook page is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, yeah, so my Facebook page is kind of frozen up on me, but that's fairly typical, I guess. Let's see here if there's any others. Hey, Chad, is there any questions or anything on the oh, okay. You know what, Gary? That's a good comment. FT8. I do know that Frank has been operating FT8 quite a bit. We'll give it a try, see what happens. I wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind doing FT8. Yes, generators are allowed. We have a quiet time. I think it's like 10 o'clock at night till like 6 or 7 in the morning or something like that. So generators are definitely allowed. And yes, it is a bring your own everything. Obviously, we're going to have 3 different transmitters, possibly a fourth one. Um, see here. Oh, courtside ends just before winter field day. Okay, I was not aware of that. All right. Well, that's good to know because I might have to drive out to courtside just to for the Courts Fest. Let's see here. Yeah, Virgil, you're definitely more than welcome to come up. Definitely, you know, definitely more than merrier. Definitely wouldn't mind having more people come on up. I just, we got to kind of keep it under 50 people, so which probably is not too hard to do, but still, if you're able to make it, come on up. See here, what else? So FT8 is definitely one that I think in was it for the Arizona QSO party? I think Frank tried to do a couple FT8. We weren't too sure exactly what the ruling was for FT8. We thought it was kind of under the digital, so I think we had a couple logs underneath there. Um, the fun part about the Arizona QSO party, and uh, I definitely enjoyed the Arizona QSO party. For some strange reason, we had our antennas way up high. I guess that's the antenna launchers that we were using. But we were able to get them up quite high. 20 meters was just not MVIS at all, which was quite surprising because I always, seems like almost every time I go camping, 20 meters is always MVIS. So 40 meters was definitely NVIS. We were definitely hitting Arizona stations. So um, these masts are about 30 feet high, so we'll probably be hitting more Arizona stations than anything, which is reason why I want to try to see if we can do some 10 meters. Um, Hopefully the bands will cooperate and the sun will give us some good sunspots and get our propagation up. At least that's the way I look at it. Um, so I'm definitely interested. So is there any other questions, comments? Um, see here. So if there are none, um, see here. Don't forget, I will be updating our website as well as our Facebook page. I'm a big weather fan, so be prepared for my weather updates pretty much on a daily basis. I'll be posting weather probably even like 2 weeks prior to. Um, I was going to pull up the weather for what it's like right now to kind of give you guys an idea, but uh, Lake Roosevelt is kind of similar to the Phoenix Valley area. So the temperature range is, it might drop down into the low 40s. It might even get down even lower than that. But the daytime should be, 70s and 80s. So, um, and if you guys want to do some fishing or something like that, the lakeshore up there at Lake Roosevelt is kind of a hit and miss. Um, a lot of, I would say a lot of mud if you go on the shoreline. If somebody brings a boat up, that would be even better. Maybe we can get a small antenna and a transceiver and go out there on the the lake and do mobile maritime as well. Do a stroke at the end of our call sign, but which might actually throw people for a loop there. But I think it'd be kind of fun to do. See here, what else? Let's see here. Oh well, thank you, Virgil. Yeah, a lot of a lot of our meetings, we've only had like 6 people show up or something like that. And, there's quite a few people who work at nighttime or something like that, and might not be able to catch our live meetings or our meetings. Um, so the new format's going to be essentially, I think what we're going to do is 4 regular meetings over at the Mesa Utilities building at our normal place. And then what we're going to do is, a couple months in there, we're going to do live virtual meetings. Just so that we can get out there. The reason why I picked Zoom was it kind of allowed us to have multiple presenters. That way we can do multiple things throughout the evening. The only issue with Zoom is the free version only gives you about 40 minutes of meeting time, which is kind of a bummer. And to go up to the unlimited is like $14 a month. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play around with it. We'll see if there's any other different meeting places out there and see what happens. Otherwise, I might just go right ahead and pony up the cash for the unlimited and go that route as well. But I like the Zoom idea because it allowed multiple presenters. I might be able to allow somebody else to share their screen or, do a little video or something like that. So the Facebook Live definitely captures our Facebook crowd for those who are not able to get onto it. And that's one reason why we want to kind of go the other route too. We have the ability to do a live event video online. Off of our webpage. Chad's kind of mentioned that a couple times. We're going to try to get that all set back up and everything and get that running. Definitely be looking for us definitely in the future. And, the comments that we got off of our Facebook Live meeting for the Arizona QSO party just really kind of, I was intrigued by it. So we're definitely going to be doing that for our events, especially the events that were close to a cell tower or something like that. So definitely be looking for that. So definitely appreciate it. Any other questions or anything? If not, what I'll do is I'll go right ahead and close out for tonight. I'll go right ahead and stop my share and we'll close out the meeting. I've got this recorded, so I will post this up on our Facebook page, our website, as well as our YouTube channel, and we'll go from there. And if anybody has any comments or suggestions or something like that, shoot it over to me. Put a comment on our Facebook page or reach out to us. Let us know, and if there's a topic or something that you guys want to hear about or want to explore, or perhaps maybe you want to do your own video and then post it up on our page, that we're definitely more than willing to do that. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And Chad, I definitely appreciate you keeping an eye on the chat there while I was doing everything. Virgil and Gary, I appreciate both of you joining us. And my brother joined us. I don't know if he's still in or not, but hello, Corey. Glad to see you make it. So if anybody has any questions, just let us know. I'll go right ahead and close this up for tonight. Thank you, guys.